Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on Calmsden Farm. So I'm actually in April day 2 and I haven't progressed much time. I have been busy though, doing some farming, obviously finishing off pretty much a lot of the hay that we've chopped up. So we did chop up some grass and I've been busy making some hay. So I've done 2 fields. I will go over there and give you a bit of an update on that in a second. We've had a few new changes as well. We've had an update to precision farming, so that has changed pretty much a lot to do with the grass work. And I'll be going into that and just talking about it, just so you're aware now that when spreading manure and slurry, it has changed quite a bit. But if we just go to here, turn grass on, and you can see that pretty much the way we left it off in the last episode is I mowed these 3 fields. And what I have done is in field 3 and field 1, I've baled all that up, tedded, rode it, turned it all to hay. I've even gone over it with manure. And I did spray some slurry, sorry, not manure, sprayed some slurry just before the precision farming update, and I've also direct seeded into grass field 1. Now the reason I wanted to do that is because as soon as I chopped it, it would give me the chance to go in that field and direct seed, which obviously is then going to raise up my environmental score, which I'm just trying to get to. So if we have a look now, you can see that this field here especially, which is technically a combination of 2, you can see that I am, which is you'd be looking for the tillage side, so right at the bottom, maxed out, and then pretty much maxed out. So our score now at the moment, we're 66 and we're taking a 5% increase on anything we sell. So we're doing really well at the moment currently. This one as well, surprisingly, is doing really well, so I'm happy about that. So as soon as we go over this field here, because this one still needs to be direct seeded, I think that will be obviously a lot more work, but this one especially is going to be a lot more work as well. But this one is still mowed. I've got everything pretty much set to go, so we are going to be doing that in this episode. We're going to be baling this off into hay. All the hay that I got from these fields I have stacked away in the shed, but I will show you this. I've still got some on the trailer that I didn't take off because it just makes sense to pick up some of the ones we do today and take a full trailer load. But there's one big change that I've done. So before we get into the grass work and talking about precision farming a bit more, just showing you the changes, I do want to talk about the new mod by 4D Modding that I've been said to you a while back that I wanted to get, which is the slurry spreader. So what I've just gone and done is I've gone and sold the slurry spreader we bought last time round just as a temporary upgrade, and I've actually gone and bought this. That's why my money's jumped down to 85,000. Still got quite a bit of money, and we are processing a lot of the biogas as well, so I'll just quickly give you an update on that before we move on to other things. But you can see that it's starting to go down now, so the bales are in there, there's no more left to consume, but we are full up, and we've got 20,000 litres of digestate as well, so we're doing well on that side. But look at this is like a bigger upgrade to the high spec we had previously with the backplate. We haven't got that now, we've got this, and this is a 15 metre spread. Obviously holds quite a bit more, but it is a beast. Now I have had a little bit of an issue with it though, trying to detach from it. Now I've taken manual attachment off just while I try this out, so it detaches all that perfectly. But then if I want to, I think I have to drive, I have to first detach that, which is a shame because I'd rather probably leave that. And now you can see that I'm detaching, so that was interesting. Yeah, so that works. But if I have this parked on, if I try and park this away, for example, with that attachment on, and then go to probably this, it says that I need to lower the implement before, which I've tried to do and it just won't work. So we're going to obviously have to detach these separately. Now the good thing about this, there's 2 versions of this by 4D Modding. There's just this standard one, and then you can also get the one that if you can just make out, it says manure sensing. So this has got the John Deere manure sensor on. So luckily now this high spec slurry spreader, we've actually got the installment of the John Deere manure scanning on. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to try and find a home for this, because it is pretty beefy. I'm hoping that I can find a separate space, maybe. I mean, I could just park it there, it'd be perfect, it really would. So let's see if we can just detach him, but not leave it hanging out too much. I do like the look of this. I mean, it's a massive upgrade on what we've had. Let's try it from there. There we go. Bit forward. There we go. So that's worked. There we go. Job done. So let's head over to the grass field. We are going to need the JCB. Do you want to do the planting with this? So I've got the direct seeder down there. Now, I'm not sure whether to set... Probably the direct seeding, actually. We'll set that up as a course play, and then we'll take control of the final field while we bale up the hay. But yeah, usually I like to advance a little bit more time than I've currently done, but I was just so busy doing so much, and there was just a few updates that it made sense just to jump in at this point and yeah, do another episode. But doing good, really are. We've got a lot of hay now anyway, so we were short on animal feed, but luckily that's not an issue. So let's quickly just have a, and you can see that this field now is direct seeded. But an interesting thing about it as well is if we have a look at, in fact I'll probably, yeah, let's try and jump into this first, hook this up, and then I'll show you better the nitrogen levels and the precision farming now. So you can currently see now that the target is actually lower than the current. So the current level right now of this field, nitrogen wise, is it's not showing me any field information. I wonder if I've changed the settings, because I have been messing about. I think I might have. Field info, there you go. Let's change that back to on. So you can see now that the field, it's at 75, but it should be around 55 for sandy loam. Now it still says perfect, because grass now ignores over fertilization, which is something important to note. But what it will do is it takes into consideration 3 cuts a year for grass. So if you go into a field and let's say you manually spray 180, which is kind of what it's calculated now, is 3 cuts of grass is a whole year's consumption of nitrogen. So if you come into this field, manually spray 180 kilograms, you'll have perfect nitrogen, even though technically you are over fertilized, but it ignores that. It'll then cut your first cut, for example, you'll reduce about, I think it's about 45, around 45, 50 each time. You'll do your second cut and then your third cut, and then what you'll find, you probably then, after 3 harvests or 3 cuts of grass, going to need to then spread some solid fert or liquid fert. Now, you can do it differently, which is probably what I'm going to do, which is you can spray slurry or you can spread manure after each cut, and it'll just top it up a little bit. What it will do, the benefit of this, is it makes slurry and manure probably go a lot further in grass fields now. And it also has the benefit of you don't need to use solid fertilizer really if you do it that way, or liquid fertilizer, which is probably more like what you'd probably see in a grass field. There is some farmers that quite often spread solid fertilizer, but it's more the nitrogen levels in the fertilizer is more relied on a byproduct from the animals. So if you've got slurry or manure, they're going to put it on the field and it's going to increase the nitrogen. And I think this change now, for me, it improves it. It's a little bit different, but I do like it, because if you don't want to spread slurry or manure and you just want to do that one spread of solid fertilizer, you can then go 3 harvests or 3 cuts without even thinking about it again. You're still going to get the maximum yield you would from a fully fertilized grass field. But if you are like me and like spreading slurry and manure and want to do it more often but want the tank to kind of go further, then this is perfect now. It means that you're probably going to be in the field 3 times, maybe 2 or 3 depending on how much you're putting in. You can do automatic, and I think it will hit the target. If I went in now with automatic, obviously I'm over, but after we cut this field for the second time, because we're obviously direct seeding now, this will be our second cut, it will be lower then. So if we go in with an automatic application rate, it will notice that we're probably below the 55 mark for this sandy loam. Obviously it's different in the different soil types, but it will try and hit that target amount now. So I'll be then coming back in the second time and the third time and so on, each time with slurry and manure, but I'll have to do less trips, and I'll be using less slurry by doing it. So for me, it is a bonus. I think it's a pretty good addition, and I'm glad they've done that. They've also fixed the soybeans as well, so I was right in thinking that even though it requires 0 fertilizer, soybeans completely ignores fertilizer. It was actually saying at the end of the harvest that you didn't apply the right amount, and it'd have a negative effect on your environmental score. But that's all been sorted. which is good to see. So you can probably just tell in this field, I did go over this, sprayed a load of slurry, but the problem was we got an update. So this field is currently at pretty much the 100 mark, but obviously it doesn't need to be 100. I've even got solid fertilizer in this, just because I was testing something out, and it's not going to consume any of that. But what we are going to do now is just quickly set this up so we can direct seed into this field. So the good thing about this now is it'll just automatically sense I'm in this field. You can see that it's got the white line around the field boundary. You can see that the marker's around here, and we should get the start point just in front. So we could put 2 headlands, chop corners 15, keep it at 0. I'm happy with that. We don't need to skip a row. Yeah, it'll be fine. Then if we generate the course, you can see that the waypoint should be right in front of me. Now I do like that now with the course plate. It just saves so much hassle. You don't have to put down markers or waypoints. In fact, what we need to do is stop that, change it to first waypoint. There we go, job done. And we'll let him carry on. He's got seeds. Hopefully they'll last out, but if not, it doesn't matter. We can always come back and fill him up. But let's go and focus on the grass now. So we'll jump over to the tedder, because that's going to be the first job. You can see that I've got the windrow parked up, got the baler, and I've also got the autoload trailer that's probably going to need... Yeah, we're going to be doing a few trips with this, because this is a big job. It really is. So let's crack on with it. Hopefully we won't need to do any more hay after this. I think we should have enough. But we are going to try and do some more silage, because we've taken a lot to the biogas plant. It is going to be soon that we double the cows we've got, which is obviously going to double the increase of food that they're going to require. So probably covered for hay. We will be covered for straw with the linseed, but we're going to probably need a bit more silage. Now, we could do some in a bunker, which is what I originally intended to do. We could also just see how much we get silage bales wise, and we might be able to take another load to the biogas plant, because I'm liking the fact that I get digestate from that. I think that is good. I can store it away. And also it just gives you good money. It really does. So that might be a good idea. Going around this field edge just makes you realise how big this field is now. There's a grass field when we've combined it. It is a big job. I kind of flew through them other 2 fields, it feels like, and I did it all myself. Didn't obviously use Courseplay, but it is difficult whilst recording a video to just sit in a tractor and talk for the amount of time that it takes. I mean, I also like to do a montage, as you know, or maybe a time-lapse. Probably a time-lapse might be a good idea, with it being a bit of a hefty job. But then again, that probably will be... I'll have to speed it up quite a bit to fit it all in. So I'll try to do a bit more. But I think it gives me the perfect opportunity to talk about the DLCs that are coming out, because I have seen a few comments that probably I agree with, which is, so far, in my opinion, I don't think we've had one meaningful DLC for the game. I mean, I probably, like a lot of people, purchased the season pass for the year. So we got a season pass, I think it is, for each year that they'll be out. But so far, I'm a little bit disappointed. I think probably the best DLC we've had is the free one, which is Precision Farming. But so far, with the ones that have come out, the announcement as well of the recent one, yeah, it's just... I just think we should be getting a little bit more bang for our buck. I'd probably like to see, personally, some kind of gameplay enhancement. So not only just more equipment, but gameplay enhancements. So maybe animals as well, additions, so they can make it a bit more realistic. There's more to it. I think animals are sometimes overlooked within the game. But it'd be nice to have a bit more hands-on kind of farming style, or even just a little bit more in-depth features when it comes to the animals. There is so many things to do. I mean, if you've seen Hofbergman, for example, on FS19, that just in itself showed what this game can do if people obviously implement them features. So for me, I'd like to see kind of maybe a DLC that yeah, enhances the gameplay in somewhat, like Precision Farming did, and like Maze Plus does as well when that comes out, which hopefully won't be too long now. But anything like that, I think it's yeah, the right way to go. But I am interested to see what anyone else's opinion is. So if you are in agreement that the DLCs have been a bit of a letdown so far, or just not too much hype around them, yeah, put it in the comment section. And if you could pick a feature that Giants would make and bring into the game, what would it be? Are you happy with the equipment? Would you want more equipment, or would you like some gameplay features as well? Because I'm interested to see some ideas. Because yeah, mine's definitely on the animal side, because I like doing that. I think we've got the arable side down to a T. I don't think there is much else they could put in on that side, just more crops, maybe something like peas. There's not many things like that. Peas have been overlooked as well for a few FS versions now. I think we could probably have seen that back in FS17. So yeah, there's definitely more crops that we could have. I really would like to see an animal addition to the game, where not different animals, because I think we've got the right animals for farming, but just more in depth. Like maybe even if it was just moving your cows over from one pasture to another manually, having rotation in that side. I do like the idea of that. Maybe milking parlours that actually function. So if you're a dairy farmer, because most dairy farmers spend probably half of their day milking. They're inside the parlour 2 times a day, and it takes maybe 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 2 hours depending on how many cows you've got. So at least maybe something on that side, if it were a functioning parlour where you were in there and you had to just set things up, even if it just took 5 minutes to do, but you could milk your cows and you had to do it like that. Just small additions like that would make a massive difference. It really would. So what I'm going to try and do now is a bit of a time lapse. I'm going to try and get as much of this field done as possible. If it gets too long, I'll try and jump cut in the time lapses so it's not too long. I usually like trying to make it a song's length, so like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, something like that. But if it goes too fast and it speeds up, it'll just look a bit silly in the video, so I might have to jump cut. But yeah, I'll do a time lapse, and hopefully by the end I'll build off this whole field.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Right, so there we go. That's the field done. It's all bailed up. Now, that didn't go smoothly at all. That really didn't go to plan. It was a bit of a hot mess. What I noticed as I was bailing is the course that I set up with the windrow was not the right width, so it was doing pretty much, it was just wasting its trips. It needed to be set wider, so I did have to start it again. And then he went up to the top corner, obviously because of that as well. He was hitting bales. Probably should have started on the up and downs as well first, and then done the headland after. But in the end, we got it done, and that's the main thing. We got a lot of hay bales now. Don't need to worry about hay. And if you look at the field as well, you can notice that it's at 20. It's only 20 kilograms per hectare of nitrogen, and it says that it's okay. So I can go into this field now after I've direct seeded it, and there's nothing stopping me from spreading some slurry with the new slurry tanker. And then when this gets to head again with the other fields, we're going to do some silage. But what I am going to try and do is do it as if you were trying to emulate a real farm. So a lot of dairy farmers, they don't have the money to obviously buy forage wagon, sometimes not even like a big baler like this. They can do silage bales, round bales, a lot of them, but they don't really have the means to do their own bunker. So what they do is they hire in pretty much from the point of windrowing. So you'll hire in contractors that'll come and row up the field, so you'll have to do the mowing yourself. They'll have a forage harvester that's got a pickup on, and then obviously you do the carting into the bunker. A lot of the farmers then join in at that point and help out with the carting. So we're going to try and do that, but I'll be the one carting, but we'll set up Courseplay to do the rowing. We'll also set up Courseplay to do the forage harvester with the pickup, and then we'll just do the carting to and from the bunker, and then obviously compact at the end. I think that'll be a good option and a good way to go. And then if we do get a third cut, fingers crossed we do, I'll be doing silage bales, and then all I'll do with them is just sell them. I think that's a good way of going. But hopefully as well soon we'll be moving on to the linseed. We've obviously got the soybeans, but I think if we just try and do one more job in the field, but this time do some grass silage in a bunker, I think that'll be good. And then if I do some silage bales, I'll probably do that in between episodes again, so we're not just constantly doing grass work in the videos. But I think this is a good point to end the video on. I'll be doing the direct seeding in this field. I'll put all the bales away, and then hopefully in the next episode we'll have jumped time quite a bit, because we're either going to be getting close to probably doing some weeding within the soybean fields. I'd say that's probably the first thing I'd do, or we'll be getting closer to doing the second cut on this, which will be silage in a bunker. So definitely some time will be of progress before the next episode. So thanks for watching, really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, because that does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.